Hello, everyone. My name is Luigi Etienne. I am an international relations and communications officer at the University of Twente. And the idea of today is just to talk to you a little bit about the university. So I'm going to say a few words, very short words about the country. Then we're going to talk about the university. We're going to go through our programs, application process, etc. And this is all to give you an idea of what can you study at the University of Twente? How is it being a student at the University of Twente? And to learn more about us. And hopefully, we have a program that suits you and you're interested in joining us. So, as I said before, in this presentation, we're going to talk a bit about the Netherlands. We're going to talk about the University of Twente, our master's programs, our application and admissions process, and how is it living in Enschede, which is the city where we are located in the Netherlands. So let's start with the Netherlands. When you hear when you hear someone talk about the Netherlands, you might immediately think of things like tulips, cheese, bikes, etc. And all of that is definitely part of Dutch culture, a very important part of Dutch culture. But there's way more than that that the Netherlands offers to international students who decide to join us and study in the country. These are a few of those, but there's way more things that I could mention at the moment. For example, you see there, it is considered the gateway to Europe, and this is because of our strategic position in the continent and also the way that we are so well connected via air, sea, and and other types of transportation. So a lot of international and multinational companies have established their headquarters in the Netherlands because of this interconnection. Now, there's also a multicultural environment. What does this mean? Or where does this come from, actually? This comes from our historical connection to other cultures. The Netherlands has historically been a merchant country. So they have always been in contact with other countries, and that's why they are so open and so multicultural. So you'll see that there's another one that says warm and open culture, and this has to do a lot with the multicultural environment as well. So they are connected. Affordable tuition fees. This is a very important topic because the education in the Netherlands, it's at the same level of education in the US or the UK, but tuition fees are way more affordable. So you get the same quality of education for less money. Now, next to that, we have very innovative teaching methods. Education in the Netherlands is very much focused on innovation and trying to always remain in the front line. And the fact that Dutch universities are all very well ranked internationally. So all Dutch universities, basically all Dutch research universities, are very well ranked in international rankings. Now, since you're going to be living in Enschede, and I'm pretty sure most of you haven't heard about Enschede before, because when you hear about the Netherlands, it's usually Amsterdam, which is the capital city, The Hague, Rotterdam. But we are located in a city called Enschede. So since you're going to be studying in Enschede, now how easy is it to move around from Enschede to other Dutch cities or to other parts of Europe? And here you see how much it could take you to travel from Enschede to other parts of the Netherlands and other parts of Europe as well. So the city of Enschede, even though we are a rather small city, we are very well connected. We have trains from different parts of Europe and the Netherlands arriving directly in Enschede. So it's very easy for you to say, I'm going to take this weekend and I'm going to travel around and I want to see other places. It's very easy and you will be back on time the end of the weekend to start your week at the university again. Now let's talk a little bit about the university. We have talked a little bit about the country. So, what are the benefits of studying in the Netherlands? How easy is it to move around in the country? How well connected the country is? And some important things also for your future professional life in case you decide to study the fact that there are multinationals in the country. But now let's talk about the university. First things first, the University of Netherlands, the University of Twente, sorry, is the first, or not the first, but the only all-in campus in the Netherlands. What does this mean? We are a campus such as the ones that you see in the US, for example, that they're very green, everything is condensed within the campus, students are moving around and making their lives on campus. This is the same type of campus that we have in the University of Twente. And we are the only university in the Netherlands with this type of campus. What you see on your screens at the moment is actually a photo of the campus of the University of Twente. We have a 1.5 square kilometer campus where everything is located within the campus. You will find there your educational facilities, research facilities. You will find a lot of sports facilities, and you will also find other things like a business incubator, because as a university, we are very much focused on supporting students who have business ideas. So we have a business incubator on campus. We also have supermarket. We have a job agency. We have different things on campus. We even have a hotel on campus in case your parents want to visit once and they would like to stay on campus. There's also a possibility for that. There's a lot of facilities on campus for you as students who are going to be attending classes at the university. We have more than 130 student associations. We have around 364 labs on campus. We have around 3,000, and we're still building more housing on campus. And next to that, you will be surrounded by international students. So you at the University of Twente, you're never going to be alone. You're not going to be the only international student. We have a student population of more than 12,000 students, and of those, 35% are international students. So you are going to be in very multicultural classrooms where you might be studying next to a Dutch person, a German person, someone from your own country, but you will also be studying with someone from Latin America or someone from India or different other countries around the world. Now, having said that about the environment at the university and how is it being a student at the university and all of that. Now, how is education and research thought at the University of Twente? We have five faculties. So all of our education and our research is taught within one of these five topics, one of these five faculties. As you might notice from the image on your screens at the moment, four of those faculties are mainly STEM and IT focused. And why is this? This is because we are a research university of technology. So the core of our education is STEM and IT. We offer several programs in engineering, several programs in robotics, computer sciences, nanotechnology, etc. So those programs are the core of our education. Next to that, we also have one faculty, sorry, of behavioral management and social sciences. And within this faculty, we offer other programs such as psychology. We offer communication science. We also offer, sorry, business administration. So there are some social sciences being part of our portfolio, but the core of our education is STEM and IT. So you will find a lot of that later on when I show you the overview of the programs that we offer at the university. These are the master's programs offered at the University of Twente. The division that you see here, alpha, gamma, and beta, is basically a way of us to say these are non-engineering programs and these are engineering programs. So alpha, gamma are all of our non-engineering programs. As you can see, the list is way shorter than the beta programs, as I explained before, because of the core of our education. Beta programs are all the STEM and IT related programs. So if this is something that interests you, then you definitely are in the right place. This is the type of programs that we offer, and and as I said, we are very much proud of the type of education that we offer at the University of Twente. So please have a look at the programs. Uh, just make a note if you think there's something that you're interested in. And of course, later on, you will have space to ask any questions that you might have about these programs. Now, how does the application and admission process go at the University of Twente? Let's first go through the admission requirements. You have two sets of admission requirements. You first have the academic requirements and then the language requirements. So for academic requirements, first off, you need to have a bachelor's degree in order to go through the master's program. And then for this bachelor's degree of yours, you need to have a final CGPA of 75%, at least 75%. Then after that, we have the language requirements. For language requirements, we accept one of these three exams. We either accept the IELTS, the TOEFL, or the Cambridge. Those are the only three exams that we accept. Important to know this. Why a language requirement? There's a language requirement because, of course, education at the University of Twente is taught completely in English because we are an international university. So our education is completely taught in English, and because of that, you need to provide proof of the language, the use of the language, so that we can uh, accept you to one of the master's programs. So, as I said before, we accept the IELTS, the TOEFL, or Cambridge C1 or C2 for admission. As it says on the slide, please keep in mind that the Cambridge online test is not accepted by the university. So please keep that in mind. And next to that, these are the basic requirements, but next to that, there are also requirements per study program. So each study program has specific requirements based on the needs of the program. Here in the presentation, you have two examples. You might need a portfolio, you might need a GMAT, but there are other requirements that come with each program. So whenever you're ready to apply for a master's program with us, please have a look at the website because everything is clearly stated on the website. You'll find everything there. So please have a look at the website, go to the program of your choice, and there you can have a look at the requirements and make sure that you have all the requirements needed for this program. Another important topic are the deadlines and tuition fees. So let's go first with the deadlines. How does the application process look at the University of Twente? So application process opens on the 1st of October. You have from the 1st of October until the 1st of May to submit your application. Then, between the 1st of May and the 1st of June, you have time to accept the letter of the offer of admission. And why do I mention this? Why do I mention accepting the offer of admission? It's very common sometimes for students to to understand that because they received the offer of admission, it already means that they are admitted. In this case, it's just an offer. It means that you have to actually actively, accept the offer. If you do not accept the offer, then it is understood that you are no longer interested in joining the program with us. So please keep in mind, you have until the 1st of June to accept the offer of admission. And after that, you have until the 1st of September to submit the last certified copies. What does this mean? You can start your application without submitting your, for example, your diploma, because maybe you haven't finished yet. You will receive your diploma in a few months. So you can start your application if you haven't received your diploma yet. But you cannot start your classes without a diploma. So before the 1st of September, so before the start of the academic year, we need to have your diploma in office. It is not possible for you to come and bring the diploma with you when you start classes. The diploma needs to be here before that. So please keep that in mind. You can start your application before having your diploma in hand, but you need to submit your diploma before the start of the academic year. And last but not least, the tuition fees. So I mentioned before that there are two types of programs. We have the Alpha Gamma programs and the Beta programs. Alpha Gamma are the non-STEM and IT related programs like business administration, and Beta programs are all of the engineering and computer sciences related programs. So these are the tuition fees. Keep in mind that if you're not thinking of applying this year, but maybe for next year or the year after, then you will have to check the requirements again. You will need to check the tuition fees more specifically again, because the tuition fees change per year. But for students starting in 2025, these are the current tuition fees. All of the non-engineering and IT related programs, 15,800, and all of the engineering and IT related programs, 18,900, sorry. And next to that, there's also something that's very important to mention. There are two faculties at the university that have a application fee. The application fee is non-refundable. It is a 100 euro application fee, which will not be refunded after your admission. These two faculties are the Faculty of Electrical Engineering, Mathematics, and Computer Sciences, and the Faculty of Engineering Technology. So which programs fall under these two faculties? So for the Faculty of Electrical Engineering, Mathematics, and Computer Sciences, you have Applied Mathematics, Business Information Technology, Computer Sciences, Electrical Engineering, Embedded Systems, Interaction Technology, and Robotics. Those are the programs from the EEMCS faculty that have an application fee. And then from the ET faculty, you have Civil Engineering and Management, Construction Management and Engineering, Industrial Design Engineering, Humanitarian Engineering, Mechanical Engineering, and Sustainable Energy Technology. So these are the programs that currently have an application fee. Keep that in mind whenever you are deciding on starting your application. How about living in Enschede? So it is very common for students to not know Enschede, of course. Usually, you know, the bigger cities, the more famous cities like Amsterdam, Rotterdam, etc. But how is it living in the city of Enschede? We are, as I said before, located in the border with Germany, in the eastern side of the country. We are a rather small city, but then how is life here for, especially for a student? So what you see here in your screen is an actual photo of the city of Enschede. So this is a part of the city of Enschede. You will see, as you can see, is it looks like a quite a nice place to live, and it is quite a very nice place to live. Now, some information about the city. We are around 160,000 people in Enschede. And of those, there's a lot of different nationalities, not only because we are an international university, but also because in the city of Enschede, there's a lot of people from different countries living here. So you will find that not only the university is a multicultural environment, but Enschede itself is a very multicultural environment where you will be interacting with people from all over the world. Now, we have a student population in Enschede of around 26,000 students. I mentioned before that of those, 12,000 more or less are students of the University of Twente. But next to the University of Twente students, we also have an applied sciences university, Saxion. We also have a conservatorium. We also have a vocational school, and we also have an arts school. So there are several educational institutions, and in combination with the University of Twente, that makes an approximate of 26,000 students in this alone in the city of Enschede. So as you can see, it is quite a student city. Then around approximately 10,000 of those 26,000 students live in Enschede. So where else does students live? Well, you do have German students that might live at the other side of the border because we are in the border with Germany. So it's quite easy to travel from Germany to the Netherlands. But you also have other Dutch and international students living in the nearby city of Hengelo, which is still a Dutch city, because our campus is located in Enschede, but we are in Enschede in the border between Enschede and Hengelo. So it takes you the same time to travel from the city center of Enschede to the campus than to the city center of Hengelo to the campus. It's around 15 to 20 minutes by bike. So a lot of students live in Enschede, some live in Hengelo, and you also have sometimes German students who still live at home and then travel to the university. As I said before, we are a rather small city. We are around 160,000 people, but we still are a very lively city because, as I said, we have a big student community, but there's always something to do in the city of Enschede. We have cinemas, we have museums, theaters, cafes, restaurants. There's a lot of festivals happening in the city of Enschede and even on campus during the season of April and May when the weather starts changing and the spring comes on, then you start having a lot of different festivals and open air events happening in the city of Enschede as well. So there's always something happening. It's a very lively city. It's a very colorful city, as you can see here. And you will be interacting with a lot of people from all over the world, not only on campus, but also in the city of Enschede. Now, how much does it cost to live in Enschede? We try to make an estimation every year of how much you could be spending living in Enschede. Please keep in mind that this is an estimation, so it also means that depending on the student, so these costs are going to be different from student to student because you might have more or less expenses. But this is an average estimation that we make every year to give you an idea of how much it could cost to live in Enschede. For this year, we have estimated that you could be spending around 14,700 euros per year in the city of Enschede. So this is something you need to take into account when you are budgeting for studying abroad. It's not only about your tuition fees, but you also have your costs of living. And this is very important to take into account. Now, As you can see below, the city of Enschede was named the most affordable student city in 2019. This is also important because you will notice that costs of living will change from city to city and they will change from country to country. So this is also something that is very important for you to take into account when you are deciding on studying at a different country in a different city. So please keep this in mind. Make sure you make your budgets accordingly. As I said before, these would change from student to student. Not all students have the same expenses. Some might have higher expenses or lower expenses, or there are some costs here that could even be zero for some students. For example, if you have a bike and you don't travel a lot outside of Enschede, then you might not have a lot of transportation costs. So you will have if you get a bike, you will have only a one-time cost for your bike, and that's it. So these can vary from student to student. There's a lot of things that can change these, but this is an estimation that we have made for this year. Now, how do you get in touch with us? There are several ways to get in touch with us. We are always hoping to answer your questions, hoping that you will reach out and we can support you with anything you might need. In this case, you have our online meetup with the student, so you can go to our website and you can plan a meeting with a student and ask them questions about studying in Enschede. Maybe you can choose a student from the program that you're interested in, and you can ask them questions about the program itself. And in that way, you can interact with a student directly who can let you know how it is to study at the university and live in the city of Enschede. Next to that, we have our open days and online open days. So open days are days in which the university opens its doors to receive students and parents who want to visit the university and want to learn more about our educational programs. Because these are in person, later on, we created an online version of our open days to also open our doors to international students who might not be able to come just for a visit at the university. And we translated what happens in the open days into an online format to give you all the opportunity to visit the campus online and also learn about our educational programs, ask questions, and a lot more. And if you're ever in the Netherlands and you would like to plan a visit to the campus, that is also possible. You can reach out to us and we can plan a visit for you. You can go, you can learn a lot about our campus, the different places, and get a feel of the place where you are hopefully going to be studying in the near future. And last but not least, we have our agent in Taiwan. Always reach out to our agent Dual, and he will be more than happy to support you, answer any of your questions, and even help you with your application process. So these are ways in which you can reach out to us. These are ways in which you can get in touch. We are always here to answer your questions. If you need help, if you want to know something about the application process or our programs, we're here for you. So please do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you very much for joining me today. And I think, Dual, now we have a Q&A, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Hello, this is James speaking. I have a question about the bachelor program. Do you have a few slides to briefly introduce?
Do we have, sorry?
Do you have a few slides to briefly introduce the bachelor program?
Oh, okay, got it. Not in this presentation, but we do have several bachelor programs also within the same faculties that I mentioned before. So our bachelor's programs, same as our master's, are STEM and mainly STEM and IT focused. There are a few that are not STEM and IT, same like business administration, psychology. So it's pretty much in line with what I mentioned before. So all of our education, bachelor and masters, takes place in that same structure. But if you're interested, I can ask Dual, our agent, to share with you what are the bachelor's programs that we offer. You will notice that most of them are continuation to the master's. So we have computer sciences, and then we have a master's in computer sciences. Then we have electrical engineering, but then we have a master's in it. So most of them are a continuation to the master's. But I can ask our agent to share a complete list of bachelor's programs.
Okay, because when I check the website in introduction, I noticed that Taiwan high school student cannot directly join the bachelor program. We have to participate the foundation year, then pass the exam, right?
Yes. So for most non-EU countries, so it's not only Taiwan, but for most non-EU countries, because the diplomas are not equivalent to the Dutch diploma, then students have to do a foundation year. Then that foundation year prepares you or levels you to then start with the bachelor program, which means that instead of 3 years, your bachelor would be 4 years because you have that preparatory year first. One important thing to mention about the foundation year is if you're planning on starting in 2025, then there's the possibility of doing a foundation year. If you're planning on starting in 2026, then you might not be able to do a foundation year because we are finishing our foundation year this year. We are looking into other options and other alternatives because, of course, we would like to make sure that non-EU students also have the opportunity to study a bachelor's with us. So we are looking into other possibilities and other options. And if something changes or as soon as we have more news about this, we will, of course, communicate it to Dual, and Dual will probably also disseminate the information with you. So if you're planning on starting in 2025, you can do a foundation year. If it's 2026 or later, then we will have more news about that later on.
Okay, maybe offline I can talk the detail with Duo because my concern is that if even we can pass the foundation year application, but unfortunately we cannot pass the exam, meaning we will waste 1 year. So that's the reason why I would like to understand the detail if we have to get how difficult, how's the test with the program we have to pass.
Okay, so if you pass the foundation year, you are directly admissible to the bachelor's. We don't have entry tests for each program. We do have things, for example, depending on the program, we do have things like we could have a matching process, etc. But even the matching process is not it's not binding. So matching process is just to evaluate your level and then tell you, hey, this might not be the program for you. But if you still say, I want to continue with this program, you can still do it. But we don't really have entry exams per program. So if you go through the foundation year and you pass the foundation, so which includes passing your different subjects with any exams and everything on your foundation year, then you are admissible to university.
Okay, thanks for your information. Thank you.
Okay, Luigi, we have a question from a student, and she would like to know what is the estimated IB score requirement for applying to your university for the bachelor's program? And she's interested in your business bachelor's program, actually.
That's a very good question. So, for IB, you only need to have the passing grade. So with 24 IB points, you are directly admissible to the program. And this is something that it's very good that this question came after the previous one, because also for for the other student, it might be interesting to know. If you depends on, I mentioned before that for most non-EU countries, if you're not you are not directly admissible to the bachelor's. But if you are studying at an international school like an IB diploma, or you're going to do APs or IGCSEs for the British schools, then you might be directly admissible without a foundation year. In the case of this question that I just got, the student is from an IB school, and in this case, the minimum required points to pass your IB, which is 24, is exactly what we ask at the university for admission.
Okay, Luigi, thank you. We have another question from Crystal. She would like to know, can students work in the Netherlands after there's a graduation?
Yes, so here's the thing. When you study here in the Netherlands, we do have something called a search year visa. So it's not automatic. So it's not that as soon as you graduate, you have the right to start working. You need to activate this visa. It's a visa for 1 year to allows you to live legally in the Netherlands while you're looking for a job in your field of study. One important thing about this visa is that, as I said before, you have to actively activate the visa. It's not done automatically, but you have 3 years to do this. So let's say you finish your bachelor's, your 3 year bachelor's or your 2 years master's, and then you say, okay, I want to go back home for a while because I want to be with my family, whatever. Then you can go back home. Maybe you stay there 1 or 2 years, and then you say, okay, I would like to search for a job in the Netherlands. Well, 1 or 2 years after graduation, you can still activate that visa, and you have 1 year for living legally in the country while you are looking for a job. So, yes, it is possible for you to work in the Netherlands after graduation.
Okay, thank you. And the next question is from admin. I think she would like to know if there are any internship opportunities in the third year of bachelor's program, especially for the mechanical engineering program.
Yes, for all of our bachelor's programs, there are opportunities for internship. So, how are the bachelor's programs structured? Bachelor programs are at research universities in the Netherlands have a duration of 3 years. In our case, each year is divided into 4 modules. Then the last year, the third year, is divided into 2 semesters. Your first semester is where you will have the opportunity to either do an exchange program, so go abroad and study for a semester. You can do next to the exchange, you can also do an internship. The internship, well, in the case of the internship, you will have to look for the internship, but we do have internship officers at the university who will support you in this process or can actually let you know when there's something available for you. So you can ask them for support, and they are there for to support you. Then next to that, other options that you have for that semester is doing a minor to maybe study a little bit about something that interests you, something else that interests you, or doing pre-masters to prepare you for the master's program. So you have 4 options for that semester, and one of those options is doing an internship.
Luigi, thank you. And we have the next question from Peggy. She would like to know, actually, she said that she has already had a bachelor's degree in education-related field, and she's very interested in a master's program in business administration. And she saw your website, which shows that there are three requirements for the master's program in business administration. So her question is, if she applies for the program, does she need to meet, let's say, three of the requirements or just one of them? I guess, there is a list of the requirements, on the website for the master's program in business administration. Apparently, they are about, three major requirements. So she wonders if she only needs to meet one of the three requirements, or she needs to meet three of them.
So in case it is optional, it would also be mentioned there, like you need to meet one of these. In this case, I'm going to search for the program directly to see which are the ones that she has doubts. So there are the diploma requirements, the language requirements, and the required documents. So I am guessing the student refers to the required diploma or knowledge. In this case, it says you need a Bachelor of Science or equivalent in business administration or in a closely related matter. The other one is knowledge of the following topics. There's a list of topics. And the last one is research and mathematical and analytical skills. And it mentions two specific skills. In this case, it is not a like this one or that one. In this case, you need to have the three requirements. You need to have a Bachelor of Science in either in business or an equivalent type of program. You need to have knowledge of the list of topics that are listed there, because those are topics that are closely related with what you're going to be following in your program. So you need to have some knowledge of those. And you can prove that with the transcript of your records. When you present the transcript of records, like what subjects you followed in your bachelor's and the description of the subjects, that's where we will identify if you have the knowledge that is listed here. And last but not least, research, mathematical and analytical skills. And this is because we are a research university. So you will need to have research knowledge because you're going to be doing research throughout your program, and you will need it also for your thesis.
Luigi, thank you. And we have the next question from Hank. He would like to know, what is the advantage of your master's program in business administration compared to that in other universities in Europe?
That's quite broad. So yeah, that's a very broad comparison. What I'm going to focus on is the core of our program, because I cannot compare it to every other university in Europe because I don't have that detail. But I'm going to focus on the core of our education. So our business program is, of course, business administration, as the name says it, but it's also focused a lot on research because of the type of university that we are. So even the programs that are not STEM and IT related, like business, they all have a certain component of technology embedded in the program. So you will be studying business, you will graduate from business, but still you will have a lot of uh, technological knowledge as well. And not only that, because of the type of university that we are and how you will be interacting with other students, you might also get the opportunity to work on something that is business and technology related with other students from other faculties. So I'm not gonna try to tell you that our program is best than others. I think it depends on the student. So there's one type of program for each type of student. So my recommendation is if you see our business program and you say, "Oh, I might be interested," go through the website because it will explain everything in detail. And there you will understand if this is the program for you or not. So advantages, I would say we have a business incubator on campus. So if your idea with studying business is that later on you would like to develop a company, for example, you can definitely make use of our business incubator. We have more than 1,000 companies that were born from the University of Twente. Some of them are located next to the campus in an area called the Park of Knowledge, but there are also big companies that are well known around the world, like Booking.com, which is a company that is mainly used to book hotels and flights. And that is a company that was born at the University of Twente. So I would say the university offers a lot of support if you're interested in creating a business while you're a student, and that could be considered a an added value or a benefit. But I cannot compare, or I wouldn't dare compare to every other business program in Europe because I don't have the details of every other program. My recommendation for you is have a look at the different business programs that you're interested in and make sure to not look at it as which one is the best program, but look at it as which one is the best program for me, which one offers something that I am looking for or I need.
We have another question from the same student who just asked you about, the program in business administration. And he would also like to know, he said that he's interested in the student social life side. And what would you describe the student football club on your campus?
So we have students at the university have the opportunity to do a lot of socials, not only sports, but also get involved in a lot of different things. We have a student union that is very active, and the student union, what it does is it organizes most of the events for students on campus. So a lot of the events that happen on campus are organized by students for students. So that's uh, to explain a little bit of the students' involvement and the student life on campus. Now, about the football club, that is very interesting. We do have a lot of different sports. We have everything that you can think of from football all the way until, I don't know, hockey or Quidditch from Harry Potter. So we have all of that on campus. And the most interesting thing is that you might have seen in the presentation there was a photo of a football court. That is the football court for the FC Twente, so the football team of the region, and that is located right next to campus as well. So if you are interested in football, you want to play on campus, we do have a football club. You can join the football club, the association, and you can play football. But you can also not limit yourself to it. If you want to try out other sports, we have everything there on campus. You can do rowing, you can do archery, you can do basketball, hockey, volleyball. So there's a lot that you can do in terms of sports because we have a sports association for almost everything on campus. And the university really tries to promote that students do other things other than just study. Your main focus is to study, of course, and your main focus is to get your degree. But for your well-being, for your mental health, it's always good to do other things other than your studies. So there are associations not only related to sports, but also related to other types of hobbies, so that you will find something that is interesting to you and you can get your mind off your studies for a few hours and then continue. We have acting, singing. There's a lot going on campus.
Okay, Luigi, thank you. Our last question is from Lana. She would like to know that she has a bachelor's degree in education. Can she apply for your master's program in education and technology?
Definitely, if she has a bachelor in education, that is definitely a good start for it. So yes, I would recommend it. One important thing that I would like to mention here to the students is when talking about masters, if you submit your application and you are not directly admissible for the masters, you will receive from us the recommendation to do a pre-masters. So a pre-master, it's not always 1 year, depending on what is it that you're lacking. It could be 3 or 6 months, and then you start your master's program. So don't be afraid to submit an application. As I mentioned before, not all of our masters have an application fee. So I do understand that you might not be willing to submit an application and pay an application fee if you're not going to be admitted. But if it's a program that does not have an application fee, please feel free to submit your application. And if you're not directly admissible, we will suggest that you do a pre-master's and then you go straight to your master's program.
Okay, Luigi, thank you so much for all your answers. And I would like to thank you for contribution today. And if we receive any further questions from the students, I will definitely forward them to you.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Have a very nice day, and let's stay in touch.
Thank you very much. Thank you for organizing everything, and thank you to all of the students for taking the time to join us tonight. I hope I managed to answer your questions. As I said before, if not, please reach out to Dual. We are in close contact, and if Dual needs to ask me anything, he knows how to reach me. So please don't hesitate, and thank you all for being here today.
Thank you very much, Luigi, and 谢谢大家今天的参与。那我们大家保持联络，拜拜。
Bye.